6th of January 2020, 3:34 p.m. My name is James and this is Weird But Wonderful. Welcome to your weekly dose of weirdness and exploration into the minds of strange people doing strange things. On this show, we cover everything from psychology journals and peer-reviewed studies to ridiculous news stories, all in the pursuit of trying to understand what makes people tick. And if you're a supporter of the show over on patreon.com/mypixelpersona, if that sounds different, it's because it's changed. It's now supporting me, the creator, instead of the show. There's a video over on Patreon for all patrons, which explains all of that. But today's episode is being filmed. High def, high res, Technicolor film. It's just a test episode to see how all the equipment and workflow will work, but that'll be available for all producer level patrons. So if that tickles your fancy, or you'd like to get your hands on some other bonus goodies, or you'd like to support me and support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/mypixelpersona and subscribe today. Now, you've seen the title. You know what it's about. 2019, obviously a very sexy year. A very sexy year that we've just come off the back of. 2020, we're hoping to be as sexy. But how best do we put our finger on the sexy pulse, understand the sexy subcultures, the sexy heartbeat that permeates society, that runs through all of us? Well, easy. Very easy. We're going to look at Pornhub 2019's year in review, which breaks down, all those great, sweet stats and details that you and I both need and want. So, we're taking a peek behind the curtain today of everyone's private time. It's a private peek behind the private curtain into your private time. So we're going to kick it off at the numbers, the sexy numbers. These will all obviously be very sexy categories. So they've just called it the numbers, obviously sexy numbers. Pornhub keeps on growing and it doesn't show any signs of letting up. Pornhub's got to be like the most popular destination. I don't know what else to call it. In 2019, there were over 42 billion visits to Pornhub. Just a cash 42 billion, which means there was an average of 115 million visits per day. What's the CPM on that? So what's sort of like an average website ad CPM? $2.80. So $2.80. That seems like a lot for just an impression. Anyway, 280. We're going to times that by 115 million. Couple of zeros in there. And so the answer is they're doing pretty good. The answer is they're doing pretty good, and that's just on ads that they would be running on like the display network. Well, would they be on the display network? I don't know. Probably not, because it's fucky fuck content. I don't know. But they would be selling ad space. Anyway, we're getting too deep into... Hey, whoa. What we've done is... excuse me. I apologize. I was taking us into sexy number territory, and I got sidetracked by just regular dollary-do number territory. Oh, yuck. Yeah, I'm sorry that we went corpo for a second. Get that out of my mouth. We went corpo for a second there. Yuck. Anyway, let's get back to the sexy numbers. All right. Let's let the sexiness resume. 115 million, that's the equivalent of the population of Canada, Australia, Poland, and the Netherlands all visiting in one day. There were over 39 billion searches performed, which is 8.7 billion more searches than last year. So sexiness is on the increase. Things are no longer taboo. It's all about tab you. I don't feel good about that. So anyway, people are more into fucky fuck stuff. Basically, we're getting, times are tough. People are quitting their corpo jobs. They want more work-life balance. They want more sexy time. So obviously, If 2019 has taught us anything in it being the sexiest year on record, it's that we want more sexy time. As well as over 6.83 million new uploads in 2019 alone, totaling 1.36 million hours of new content. 1.36 million hours of new content. You know, Pornhub's like the YouTube of sex stuff at this point. It's just, oh, what about RedTube though? Do you use RedTube? Podcast question of the week. What's your go-to porn site? Is it Pornhub? Because it should be. Oh, I should get a sponsorship. This podcast. Yeah, I should probably, at the top of this episode, don't you hate it when people are like, oh, by the way, this isn't a sponsorship. It's like, yeah, no, we get it. We get it. It feels a little humble braggy to me that some people are like, oh, and just so you're aware, because I definitely could be doing sponsorships, but I just want you to know that this isn't one. I want you to know that this podcast is too small to have any sponsorships, so obviously Pornhub isn't sponsoring this. The social numbers this year, the sexy social numbers, my apologies. This year, more and more people continue to use Pornhub as a form of social media. Stop, and you're using it wrong. If you're using Pornhub as a form of social media, you're using it wrong. Okay? As over 70 million messages were sent between Pornhub users and over 11.5 million comments were left on videos. Over 98,000 new models joined Pornhub, bringing the total number of verified models to more than 130,000. In 2019, the most commented words were good, love, like, sexy, pretty, and my personal favorite, nice. Nice. That was one of the... Oh man, this was a really good love like sexy pretty video. Nice. Using Pornhub as a social media, over 70 million messages. I mean, how I just don't understand. Yeah, hey Kate. Hey Kate, hey John. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Oh, this is my new friend Mark over here. Yeah. We met online. And, got a lot in common, both like pale ales, like the fruity side of beer, both into, film, really understanding film and narrative structure and story, things like that. We're currently on an Ingmar Bergman kick right now, sort of going through and watching all of his films. What's that? Where did we meet? Well, funnily enough, we met on the social platform Pornhub. I saw that Mark, obviously, Jonathan, can't remember his name. Can't remember, it's a short friendship. We haven't been friends for that long. He left I was about to juice it to this video, and he left a really, in-depth, thought out, very well structured, very articulate review of the video, and which ultimately resulted in me not juicing it to that video, of course. But I thought, hey, great. A lot of great sentence structure here. Very great in-depth analysis. This is someone that I want to meet in person. Let's chat now. So, Pornhub bringing people together in more ways than one, obviously. The top searches and porn stars, the sexy top searches. Those that follow Pornhub's Insight blog already know, which of course you all do. So you already all follow Pornhub's Insight blog, so these might be old facts and figures to you, and if they are, I apologize. So if you follow Pornhub's Insight blog, you already know that the top searches are often influenced by pop culture, mainstream media, and other popular worldwide events. However, it may come as a surprise that amateur was the top of the list in 2019 searches that defined the year. 2019, the year of the amateur. So 2020, the year of the intermediate level. You've got a year or two under your belt at this point. Sort of mid-tier. That's going to be the top 2020 mid-tier. Fucking, I don't know because you just say amateur, so I don't know. Mid-tier and then X, and then you just sort of fill in that. Perhaps this was in part due to the incredible number of new verified amateur models that joined the site. any chance they get to sort of brag about their numbers. According to Dr. Laurie Betito of the Sexual Wellness Center, quote, it seems that people are looking for more realistic depictions of sex. Real people versus actors seems to be the draw. It's interesting that more and more people are putting themselves out there as amateurs. Sex has become so much less taboo that those who get a kick out of exhibitionism can do so with very little experience or equipment. The message is anyone can be a porn star. And that's also the message of this podcast. Weird but wonderful, anyone can be a porn star. 2020. And I want you to know that. Obviously, we'll get those made into enamel pins so that we can wear them around. We'll get them made into iron-on patches so we can wear them on our denim jackets. And it'll just say, weird but wonderful. Or just anyone can be a porn star. Hashtag WBW. People might think that WBW is like an acronym. Is acronym right? Oh no, now I've got to Google acronym. The words such as NATO formed from the initial letters of each. Okay, yeah, perfect. So we can cut the part where obviously I didn't know what a fucking acronym was. People might think that WBW is an acronym for like you know how there's like BDSM stands for something, and which I don't know. I know it's bondage and sadomasochism. I don't know. Again, not a sexpert over here. Don't claim to be a sexpert. Dr. Laurie Betito of the Sexual Wellness Center obviously claims to be a sexpert. I'm not a sexpert. I'm just a podcast man. So, but anyway, obviously we'll have those enamel pins and those patches made. Anyone can be a porn star. Hashtag WBW. Alien also topped the list of searches that defined 2019, part of the epic lead up to the storming of Area 51 that affected the population and urged them to seek more immediate release. How does that work? Like a meme breaks out and people are like, well, I've got to come to that. Oh, great. We're doing Area 51 stuff. Good. Got a nut to that, I guess. Check out our Alien Insights post for a closer look behind the doors. With the rise of at-home virtual reality technology, POV parentheses point of view, was a search that defined 2019. So many searches defining 2019 in their own study. Yes, these searches really defined 2019. What defined 2019 for you? Well, I had a son, got a new job, paid off the mortgage. 2019 was really defined for me by those pinnacle, cornerstone moments in my life. And I really feel like life is really on track, and 2019 really got me there, really focused on my health, focused on my career and family. That defined 2019 for me. What defined 2019 for you? Well, obviously, amateurs, alien fucking, and POV shit. Classic. I know that the things that define 2019 for you are pretty good, I guess. I guess if you're into that kind of stuff. Anyway, me being a normal person, my 2019 was defined by alien fucking. Users looking for a more realistic porn viewing experience could tune in and unzip. That's the worst. That's like tune in, shut up, and sit down, or whatever the fuck that slogan is. And this is like a tune in, chill out, unzip. Gross. I don't know why I find that so gross. Getting everything they needed out of all the real world troubles. Without all the real world troubles. Getting everything they needed without all the real world troubles. Yeah, nothing sucks more about like being intimate with someone you love, or perhaps, that doesn't have to always be about love, Get over it. Fucking is fucking now, right? 2019, the taboos were dissolved, okay? Fucking is fucking. It's also the next patch. This is the B-side patch that's coming out after Anyone Can Be a Porn Star. The other patch is going to be a big back patch. It just says fucking is fucking. So, it's so nice that you now, with sort of how teched up we are, that you can unzip and get everything you need just without that goddamn real world troubles. I'm so sick of real world troubles creeping into my fuck zone. Oh, so annoying. Who needs an IRL partner when you have POV Pornhub videos on your side? Well, you know, I'll take an IRL partner any day, but you know, each to their own. Each to their own, you know? So I like to have a conversation with someone, you know? I like to cook dinner for someone. My girlfriend's gonna see that. Fuck it, she doesn't listen to this podcast anyway, so I'll make it out like I cook every night. I don't. We take turns, okay? Get over it, okay? We're a very modern day couple, okay? We share the responsibilities, all right? Hey, but, you know, who am I to judge? Maybe this is like helping solve a problem for people who have one. Or maybe it makes people feel less lonely. Again, I don't know. I haven't tried VR, okay? It's now 2020, and I still haven't tried VR. Not even the little Google Cardboard shit. Nothing. So, could be rad. I'm over here saying like, oh, I'll take an I'll take an in real life partner for me, please. And meanwhile, like, you know, VR could be the raddest shit in the world. Anyway, the top 10 searches. Number 10, femdom. Okay. Number 9, ASMR. Hey everyone, welcome back to. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the top 10 searches in ASMR. Number 10. I have headphones on and I'm listening to me and I can't handle me doing that. So I'm a stop now. Oh, I don't get the whole ASMR thing. People are like, ooh, gives me tingles, gets me all tingly. But like, I don't know. It's not doing it for me, you know? 10, femdom. 9, ASMR. Number 8 is Apex Legends, which I don't know why, you know? Fun game. Hey, fun game. You know, I like Gibraltar. He's a gay character, if you didn't know that. I like... Oh, no. I can't remember her name. She does the portals. That one. How sexist of me. Oh, he remembers the guy's character name, but not the female one. I'm a piece of shit, you know, and I apologize. Apex Legends? That's a strange one to me. Oh, I'm not going to look it up. Okay, because that feels weird to me, particularly now that this episode is being filmed. If I just sat here and went over to my computer and brought up Pornhub and then typed in Apex Legends, I'd feel weird about it. And you'd feel weird about it. Let's not do that. Okay, cool. 7, bisexual. 6, mature. 5, cosplay. 4, Belle Delphine, which, if you don't know about the whole Belle Delphine thing, she's like I guess, would you call her a meme star? I don't know. She sold her bathwater or whatever. And it's kind of one of those, someone did something controversial, so therefore everyone talked about it. You know, fucking people buying into dumb shit. It's so crazy to me that you can do like the dumbest shit and like that'll get you coverage or that'll be talked about instead of like cool, interesting, you know, just anything other than I'm gonna sell my bathwater. We're all talking about it now, huh? Okay. Number 3, POV. Number 2, alien, of course. Number 1, amateur. Of course, the search that defined 2019. Dr. Laurie, who is the part of the Sexual Wellness Center, says, quote, people are searching for out-of-the-box porn with searches like cosplay and ASMR. The interesting cosplay indicates the desire for all kinds of fantasy play. It's not just about the sex. The costumes play a big role in stimulating the brain, taking people out of the ordinary. It's the same for ASMR, which is all about the sensorial experience. That was fun to say. Sensorial experience. And what do you do? Well, I'm a sensorial experience generator. That... I don't know why that got so weird. You know, people... There are YouTube channels. There are whole YouTube channels where people do like ASMR-y stuff. Do they call themselves influencers or do they call themselves sensorial experience creators? Oh, yeah, I'm an SEC. Sensorial experience creator. People want to be transported to another state of mind, not just by images, but also sounds. I like the little insight into why people are searching for these things. That's what made this interesting for me, because it's like, yeah, fucky fuck stuff and, that kind of thing, that sort of peek behind the curtain and seeing, the taboos and things that people are into that no one talks about. I find it's so weird that, like, everyone does it. Everyone jacks it, they fuck, they suck, they... You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. Everyone does it, no one's talking about it. So this kind of stuff, it's interesting to see. And the fact that, like, so many people are into the same thing, but it's like a taboo thing. So people will form friendships and relationships based on, like, oh, we both like soccer, or we both play video games, but no one's forging relationships being like, oh, well, we both enjoy cosplay porn. I guess that would be probably for good reason. The more I think about it, the weirder it is, and the more you probably shouldn't forge friendships over. Although people do forge friendships and relationships over their, like, what's it called? Like, fantasies and stuff. People are like, hey, I'm into, like, whips and stuff, and someone else is like, me too. We should do that together. So people do forge relationships over this. What am I talking about? Full circle. It's the circle. It's the circle of sexy life. Anyway, the most searched terms of 2019. Joy? J-O-I? What's that? Joy. Joy is... let's find the Urban Dictionary. Joy is a very shy when you first meet her, but when she comes out of her shell. Those weren't words, dog. Joy meaning. Joy is jerk off instructions. Okay. All right. Sure. Kind of felt like it was fairly evident sort of how you jerk off, but I guess, maybe it's like someone else telling you how to do it, and it's like they get off on being like, yeah, you tell me how I do it. That would make sense. Okay, so I'll probably just do, like, the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so most searched for terms in 2019. Teen, not shocking anyone really on that one, and it's down 5 places because we're over it. Ugh, snooze. We've done it. Get it out of here, 2019. Big ass down 1. Ebony up 1. Anal down 1. Massage down 1. I'm going up to the most searched, by the way. Stepmom just down 3. Getting over it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 5 is Asian. That's up 2. Korean, number 4. That's up 5. MILF, number 4. That's down 1. Again, we're getting over MILFs. We're getting over big butts. We're getting over teens, okay? Number 3, lesbian, down 2. Don't know what that says. Number 2, hentai, which stayed the same, apparently. Neither up nor down. Hentai, consistent. If you're looking for porn stocks to invest in, hentai, consistency. That's not true. You probably want to go with number 1, which is Japanese, and that's up 4. Public down here was pretty low on the search terms, but that's up 8. That could be a 2020 leader. In 2020, we're getting out of the house and into public. I don't know if that's a good thing, but so those are the most searched for terms of 2019. Now, the top 20 countries. The United States continues to be the country with the highest daily traffic to Pornhub, followed by Japan, which moved up 2 positions. Let's get to the nuts and bolts of this. Where's Australia at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're number 9, and we plateaued. We neither went up nor down. But we're the 9th country in terms of hitting up Pornhub on the daily. A time for reflection. 2019 saw Pornhub's average visit duration grow by 15 seconds to 10 minutes 28 seconds. While some visitors may be taking more time to watch videos and making use of Pornhub's community features, yeah, that's what they're doing. Oh, I think I've been analyzing the data over here at Pornhub, and it looks like the average visit duration went up by 15 seconds. And we think that's because people are using more of the community features. You know, really utilizing Pornhub as the social platform that we intend it to be. Nah. Time on site can reflect many factors, including the speed of broadband and mobile internet bandwidth available in different regions. This year, Thailand tops the list of longest lasting countries at 11 minutes and 21 seconds. So the longest view time, or the longest time spent on site, averaged out to be 11 minutes and 21 seconds in Thailand. Again, let's get to the nuts and bolts. Where's Australia at? Australia is 10 minutes and 3 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. We're below the average. Well below the average. We're a bit below the average. Female visitors typically stay 23 seconds longer than their male counterparts, and visitors between the age of 18 and 24 tend to get the job done 64 seconds faster. Visitors over the age of 55 take their time and spend about 2 minutes longer each time they visit Pornhub. You know, because when you're older and you're retired, you've got more time, you know, especially if you're, I hate to say it, widowed. You've got all the browsing time in the world. No one's going to come in on me while I'm coming. No one's coming in while I'm coming, you know? I just get to take my time, kick my feet up, browse, you know? I've got the ABC on in the background, or whatever, SBS or whatever the fuck, you know? And I take my time on my Dell laptop from 2001, you know? Because I'm old. That's not true. They're probably using their phones. View times worldwide, and indeed most countries we have studied. Okay, so view times. When are people, and this is good information to have, when are people at their peak horniness? When is the peak time to, I mean, if you're trying to have sex with someone, what's the peak time in horniness that you should be like hitting people up? Or even better, what's the peak time that I should be leaving people alone? You know, both sides of it. Helpful and handy info. You know, this isn't just a chuckle fest on this podcast. I'd like you to leave with a little bit of insight, some knowledge gained. Now, when should or should we not hit people up for fucking or leave them alone? Sunday is the most popular day to visit Pornhub, while Friday tends to have the lowest traffic. That could be because like people are out on a Friday night. See, they're doing it all wrong. Don't go out on a Friday night, because that's when everyone's going out on a Friday night. Okay? Then you're competing with everyone trying to fuck. Too much competition. Let's work smarter, not harder. Here at Weird But Wonderful, work smarter, not harder. A lot of that has to do with the hours people prefer to watch porn. Peak viewing times are typically from 10 p.m. to midnight, but on weekends, as people tend to stay up later, go out more, and sleep in longer, the viewing time shifts into the morning hours. Our statisticians found that the lowest viewing time in the average week is Monday at 5 a.m. So lowest horniness time is Monday at 5 a.m. And this is also good if maybe you've got like a fans only account, or, you know, you're trying to set up your private Snapchat, or, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to promote, you've got a little sexy side hustle going on. When's the time you don't want to be posting? Well, you don't want to post Monday at 5 a.m. because everyone is tuckered out. No one's horny. On the other hand, the highest traffic point is Sundays at 11 p.m. You wouldn't think that. You'd think like, well, you know, everyone's watching Game of Thrones. Apparently this podcast was recorded 2 years ago. You know, but Sundays, 11 p.m., peak horniness. That's our third pin and patch. Sunday, 11 p.m., peak horniness. Sunday, 11 p.m., full stop. Under it, peak horniness, full stop. And Australia's most searched category was lesbian. Does Australia have Australia's gay population? Do we have a high? In 2014, over 500,000 people, or 3% of the adult population, identified as gay, lesbian, or other. That's according to the LGBT in Australia Wikipedia. Okay. Interesting. Why lesbian? I can imagine like yobbos being into like, I like to watch two chicks fucking. Branch out, mate. You know, pop into some BDSM. Get some candle wax flicked in your face. Pinch a nip. Don't pinch a nip. Don't pinch a nip. Okay. There are some people who exist out there in the world who have the most sensitive nips on the planet, and they hate nipple pinch. Okay? People need to know that. These people exist. Gender demographics. Most viewed categories by gender. Okay, so women's favorites were number 1, lesbian. Number 2, popular with women. Number 3, Japanese. Number 4, threesome. Number 5, ebony. Number 6, amateur. Okay. And then men's favorite most viewed categories were number 1, Japanese. Number 2, Japanese, like for women, the difference between lesbian and then popular with women and then Japanese, like, was kind of small. Like lesbian was a little bit out in front, and then popular with women and Japanese were sort of neck and neck. Men's, Japanese is out there by a landslide, like 2 times the amount of times they searched for amateur. Then number 3 is mature. Then number 4 is MILF. Number 5, hentai. So dudes love Japanese porn, apparently. Age demographics. Pornhub's visitors grew up a bit over the last year in terms of average age. That sounds like a weird way to describe that, but okay. We'll go with it because you wrote it, but I feel weird about how you said that. But only by half a year. Okay, well then it's not, then who gives a shit? With the average Pornhub user being aged 36 years old. The proportion of 18 to 24-year-olds dropped by 1%, while 25 to 34 grew by the same amount. Okay, together millennials aged 18 to 34 remain as 61% of Pornhub's traffic. So, and again, let's get to the nuts and bolts of it. What do we really care about? That's Australia's numbers. 13% of Australia's Pornhub viewers were aged 18 to 24. 33% were aged 25 to 34. 19% 35 to 44. 16% 45 to 54. 12% 55 to 64. And 7% was 65 plus. So the average Australian Pornhub viewer is 25 to 34. Which also lines up with their numbers as well. 61% of Pornhub's traffic is 18 to 34-year-olds. Which I guess that just makes sense. And then, I mean, across the board in every category, because then it breaks down what the most popular searches are for age demographics. Number 1 and number 2, Japanese and hentai. Just pretty much across the fucking board. Except for like 35 to 44, number 2 is amateur. 45 to 54, number 2 is mature. And then 65 plus is just like mature. Don't care about all this like, what, you know, this new fandangled whatever anyone else is searching for, Japanese hentai stuff. Nah, 65 plus, they like to keep it real. They like to keep it mature. Then their second most average search is Japanese. So they like to keep it mature, but then they're also like, hey, you know, what's all this Japanese stuff that everyone's sort of talking about? Man, it's just so the level of detail that this report goes into is so detailed, and it's kind of fascinating. Like it breaks it down by age bracket and gives you the categories, and then gives you category growth. So like, okay, so the average viewer is like 25 to 34. So amateur grew by 107%. 18 to 24, tattooed women grew by 109%. Like, ooh, tattooed ladies. I find that interesting. I don't know if I've ever told this. I think I've told the story on the podcast before about someone with tattoos referring to it was like a hairdresser that we used to go to, and the reason that it's a long story, but the reason I first started going to this first place is because I used to work across the road, and whenever I would go out for like a cigarette, I would hear them playing like, you know, fucking A Day to Remember and who's that other fucking band? Not Falling in Reverse, the other fucking Escape to Fate and shit like that. So that's the only reason I went there. I was like, tattooed people who enjoy the same music as me. And then so I started going there, and then we ended up going to another place because, you know, the hairdresser that I went to, she left, she went somewhere else. So we started going to this other place. And then when we're at this other place, again, it's all like tattooed girls that work there. And my girlfriend doesn't have any tattoos. And one of the hairdressers referred to her as a clean skin. And I just thought that was sort of like a weird sort of, because normally it's tattooed people receive, I don't know, prejudice. I don't know what you'd call it, but you know what I mean? Like, normally it's tattooed people and people are like, ugh, dirty tattooed person. But just the fact that someone with tattoos referred to someone without tattoos as like, ugh, clean skin. I found that so funny. Why did I bring that up? Oh, because the tattooed women category increased by 100%. Yeah. Devices. So how are people accessing their alone time? Well, 76.6% of people, no shocker whatsoever, using smartphones. 16.3% desktop, 7.1% tablet. So again, that, I mean, totally checks out. There's like no one's surprised by that at all. Now, or not weird, but like getting into a more niche side of things is most searched for movie and TV characters. So number one was just Avengers, which grew in popularity by 231%. There were 13 million searches in 2019 on Pornhub for just Avengers. They were like, well, I saw him travel back in time. Now I want to see him travel to my dick. So fucking dumb. And my immediate thought was like, I wonder if there's Hulk porn, and is his... You all know what I'm thinking. It does the penis match the size of the Hulk? When the Hulk goes Hulk mode, when he goes from Bruce Banner? Thank God. That's right, because it was Eric Banner that originally played Bruce Banner, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that's why it confused me for a second. When Bruce Banner goes Hulk mode, does podcast question of the week. When Bruce Banner goes Hulk mode, does everything scale up? Yeah? Let me know. Comic Hulk fans, let me know. Wasn't really ever a fan of the Hulk. More of an X-Men fan myself. Which, by the way, can like... I don't even want to get into it, but the fact that like the X-Men have... Comics can be so hard to follow because there's so many different fucking universes. You know what I mean? And then you've just got to like, I guess like pick one and then just follow that one. So like for me, I would read Ultimate X-Men, but then there's like Uncanny X-Men, and then there's just Rego X-Men, and then there's like how many different X-Men comics are there? Adventures of the X-Men, Agent X, All New X Factor, All New X-Men, Amazing X-Men, Astonishing X-Men. We weren't impressed by Amazing. These ones are amazing. These ones are astonishing, though. Extraordinary X-Men is another one. They were amazing. These were astonishing. Those guys were extraordinary. These guys are the ultimate, though. Those ones, they're uncanny. What the fuck is going on, and how do I follow any of it? Please let me know. Generation X, House of X, New Mutants, New X-Men, I'm skipping all the ones that just go into like individual characters as well. Like there's Mystique, Magneto, New Excalibur, New Exiles, New Mutants, Nightcrawler, Old Man Logan, Powers of X, Soldier X, Uncanny X-Men, Uncanny X-Force, Ultimate X-Men, Weapon X. Well, Weapon X would probably, I'm assuming that would just cover like Wolverine though. Yeah, it is. X-23, X Factor. That's where people come in and they trial out for the X-Men. Then there's a B-side to that where people come in and they try out for the Brotherhood as well. X-Man. Just one. Just a single. 1995 to 2001, there were 75 issues. What is that about one guy? Hey everyone, I'm the X-Man. X-Men Evolution, X-Men First Class, X-Men Forever, X-Men Gold, X-Men Legacy, X-Men Red, X-Men The Hidden Years, X-Men The Manga? What? That only went for 1 year. X-Men Unlimited, Extreme X-Men, X-Statics, Young X-Men. Fuck, man. It's a lot. But I like how people on Pornhub, they just, I'm going to circumvent all of that. And they literally just type another search, which was 1.7 million, is just X-Men. They're like, I don't want to get into all the specifics. You know, I don't want to see specifically Old Man Logan fucking someone. Let's just say X-Men. Which I like the efficiency of that. Number 2, Harley Quinn. Number 3, Teen Titans. Teen Titans? Did they like announce a movie or something for Teen Titans or a TV show or something? Because there's 8.6 million views or searches for Teen Titans. Incredibles. Oh, yeah, because the new Incredibles movie came out. They're like, I want to see Iceman fuck on a slippery slide made of ice. Captain Marvel, Family Guy, Star Wars, Simpsons, Black Widow, Joker, Harry Potter. These are great. Scooby-Doo? Jesus. At least Scooby-Doo was only 762,000 searches. Only 762,000 searches for people trying to jack it to Scooby-Doo. 2019, most searched for video game characters. Number 1, Zelda. Did they mean Zelda or did they mean Link? You know what I mean? It's the whole Zelda and Link thing is very much the who was the killer in Friday the 13th question. You know what I mean? Jason Voorhees. It was his mum, dickhead. Hey, dickhead! It was his mum. Number 2, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. In 2019, the second most searched for video game character was Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Number 3, Diva from Overwatch. That makes sense. Number 4 was Super Mario. Woohoo! I want to see a Mario fuck. Oh, man. Super Mario time. I'm here to fuck. You know. Everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite. Bowsette, Mercy. A lot of like Overwatch characters made it in here. Mercy, May, Brigitte, which is annoying for me because it's like, dog, it's spelled Bridget. It's Bridget, but it's pronounced Brigitte for some reason. I don't know why. Wraith from Apex Legends. Was that the one I was talking about before? Right? Don't give me a car. Looking for... Get out of here, Rolls Royce. I'm looking for video game characters. Apex Wraith. Wraith was the character I was talking about. So Gibraltar and Wraith. Pikachu. Pikachu was one. 908,000 searches in 2019 for Pikachu. Someone thought, yep, today's the day. Today's the day that I bust it to Pikachu. Chun-Li. I mean, Chun-Li from Street Fighter has got to show up every single year, right? Chun-Li, I feel like, is just sort of grandfathered in. Bright Bomber from Fortnite. What is Bright Bomber? So it's a chick character from Fortnite. Australia in 2019, lesbian remained both the most viewed category and most searched term among Australian visitors, while searches for hentai gained 2 positions to become the second most searched term. During the same time period, threesome gained 3 positions and Chinese gained 74 positions. Holy shit. Riley Reid became Australia's most searched porn star. Does it feel weird to you that people have like a favorite porn star? Is that so? Because I just don't. I get like, you know, oh man, can't wait to go see that movie because it's got Alexander Skarsgård in it. Alexander Skarsgård. Is that how you say his name? There's like apparently a special way to say his last name, but everyone like just says Skarsgård, and he's like, "There, fuck it."
And welcome to Swedish slang with Alexander Skarsgård, or Skarsgård, as we say in the north.
It's like Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead. Apparently, his last name is you say it Yeun, not UN, even though it's like Y-E-U-N or Y-U-E-N. It's Yeun. Great clip online where he's on Conan O'Brien's show about that. It's very funny. Oh no, yeah. Anyway, porn stars. It seems weird to me that someone's like, man, I want to see this person fuck over and over again. I don't know. Is having podcast question of the week? Is having a favorite porn star? Is that a strange thing? Do you have a favorite porn star? If so, why? Is it just because like, oh, I think they're hot? Oh, I really like the acting that they do. Sorry. I think they're a really good actor. Well, last year's favorite, Brandy Love, went down to 5th. No idea who any of these people are. When compared to other countries, Australian women are 100% more likely to view Asian videos, 88% more into rough sex, and 37% into gangbang. So Australian women are into Asian rough sex gangbangs. Great takeaway, fellas. Now you know. So that's it for everything that Pornhub had to offer us in 2019. You know, we're a sexy people. It's a sexy time, obviously. Speaking of sexy times, I had one little news story for you, which was Bradenton, Florida. Deputies are searching for a suspect who allegedly broke into a man's home to suck his toes. As you do, you know. The incident took place around midnight on Christmas Eve. At Christmas Eve? Why aren't you at home? Why aren't you watching the Santa Claus 2? I used to watch the first Santa Claus, but I watched it so many times I got over it. So I started watching the Santa Claus 2 every year, and I love it. And my favorite scene is where Tim Allen gives out all the presents to everyone. Their childhood presents. It's a great scene. Go watch it right now. Make yourself feel good. Hey, if you're watching this and you're having a bad day, make yourself feel good. Go Google the Santa Claus 2 present scene. And I pray to God that that's the scene that it's supposed to be. He uses his magic and he gets everyone presents from their childhood. Sorry to spoil it for you. The incident happened around midnight at Christmas Eve. Crazy Christmas Eve. At a home in the 800th block of 60th Avenue in Bradenton. What? What is that address? Yes, right now I'm at 800th block on 60th Avenue West in Bradenton. Deputies say a 20-year-old man asleep in his bedroom woke up to find a man sucking his toes. Do you think it was kind of like the Craigslist postings where people are like, I'm going to leave the door unlocked and you just come in and do blah, blah, blah. Maybe it was a such like that, you know. We try to find the good in people, or we try to understand the situation, and maybe this was just a goof up, a sexy goof up. Because again, 2019 was so sexy that I just think maybe it was a sexy goof up, you know? According to deputies, the victim asked the man what he was doing and stated he did not have any money, but the suspect replied by saying he was there to suck toes. So this dude wakes up, he's like, oh, what the fuck? Who are you? What's happening? Dog, I don't have any money. And he's like, nah, dog, I'm just here to suck toes. What do you say to that? No, thank you. Hey, no thanks. Hey, it's like Christmas Eve, and I've got like a lot on tomorrow. You know, I gotta like see family. I've gotta like bake stuff. Like, oh, dude, no thank you to the toe sucking though. You know, hey, Merry Christmas to you. But no thank you on the toe sucking. Thank you, but no thank you. You know? Deputies say that the victim then proceeded to punch the suspect in the mouth and started to force him out of his home. While being forced out, the victim told deputies the suspect said he had a gun and then attempted to fondle him. So he like punched the dude in the mouth and he's like dragging the guy out and the guy's like, I've got a gun, and then like tries to scope his D or something for a second. The victim forced the suspect out of the home and into the yard and then struck the suspect across the face for approximately 30 seconds. Wow. So this guy definitely not into toe sucking. Some people might have been like, oh, no. Hey, whoa, how did you hey, get out of here, scamp. Don't be sucking my toes. You Looney Tune? How'd you get in here? Breaking in here to suck my toes, you friggin' Merry Christmas, get out of here. This guy, on the other hand, was like, don't suck my fucking toes. I don't like my toes being sucked, punching you for 30 seconds. Afterwards, the victim ran inside and called the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, but while doing so, says the suspect came back to the house and punched out the glass on the front window. Okay, so maybe not just there for a little bit of toe sucking. Well, again, maybe he was just there for some casual toe sucking, but you punched him in the face for 30 straight seconds, you pissed him off so much that he came back and he punched out your window. Maybe. Again, I'm just trying to understand the sitch. Deputies say that the suspect proceeded to get on the roof of the victim's car and stomp the windshield until it broke and then ran away from the scene on foot. So he broke two things. Okay, so again, you know what? Maybe the guy who was there to suck toes and then ended up like fucking up your whole shit. Maybe he wasn't a great person. That's all I'm saying. I'm starting to think the guy that broke into your house to suck your toes and then punched out your window and then like fondled you for a second and then also smashed the windshield of your car probably wasn't there for good reasons. And I'm starting to think maybe not a good guy. When deputies arrived, they brought a canine officer to help track the suspect, but were unable to locate him. The search continues. See, this is like some horror movie shit. For me, again, I've probably told this story a million times on the podcast. The first time that I ever saw a horror movie when I was a kid, I think I was like 8 years old. Or like 7 or something. And I think it was like a Halloween night or something. My family were getting ready to play that like board game where you put in the tape and the dude gets like creepy looking and he screams at you and stuff. I think it's called like Graveyard or Crypt or some shit. I don't know. But before they put that on, the Halloween film was on. And the beginning of the Halloween film is fucking Michael Myers breaking into the person's house. I think it's when he pins one of them up against the wall. That might be later in one of the movies. Anyway, the cop comes in, shoots Michael Myers. He falls off the balcony. He lands like on the front yard. The dude looks over and he's like, okay, guy obviously dead. Fell out of a 2-story home and I shot him. Guy's dead. Obs. Go back to check on the people. Okay, good. You good? Sweet. All right. Goes back over to the balcony. Oh, Michael's gone. And then so my little kid baby brain is thinking like, oh, great. He's still out there. The murderer's still out there. And I saw him do it. And he knows that I saw him do it and he can come and kill me now. Great. So that's what's happening with this situation. The search continues for the toe sucker. He's still out there. Thanks a lot, Brandonton Police. Anyway, sorry to end such a sexy episode on such a spooky note. But that's going to do it for this episode. Head over to One Weird Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with all the goings on. Again, very special thank you to all the patrons. Shane, Sam, and our producer, Sam. Means the world to me that you guys support me, support the show. But, like I said, if you want to get your hands on some extra goodies, you want access to episodes early, you can head over to patreon.com/mypixelpersona and become a patron today. There's a bunch of different tiers on there, so see which one it is. You can just kick the show $1 if you're like, hey, I like this or whatever. Here's a $1 every month. You can do as little as that, and then the other tiers have different rewards and things like that. But every tier gets episodes early anyway. And there's like a built-in podcast player in the Patreon app as well. So, you don't have to download them or anything. You just bang, hit play, write it. It'll come up in the post. Boom, you hit play and it starts playing it in the Patreon podcast player app, which is really good actually. It's how there's a podcast that I'm subscribed to, Oh Yeah Dude, which is amazing. And like getting off track, but anyway, I listen to, they don't post episodes early there, but they do video episodes, and I watch them through the app. But yeah, like I said, go check it out. You can search My Pixel Persona in the Patreon app if you want to find it that way. But again, it's patreon.com/mypixelpersona. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at mypixelpersona. We can bloody chat, have a chat. Hey, let's have a chat. Thank you so much for listening. Share the show with a friend. Tell a friend about it. Leave a 5-star review. Do all those wonderful things to show your support for the show. Telling a friend is probably the best way, because that's how everyone finds podcasts. Hey, it's like you either see something cool you either find it through like things that you're into, and you're like, hey, this is a cool thing, and then you listen to it, or the majority of the way that people find podcasts is to their friends and family. So, tell a friend about it. But that's going to do it for this episode. This is episode 47. Come back for episode 48. And I'll see you next time. Oh, and don't forget, for Patreon people, for producer tier level people, this episode was a video. So if you want to see the video, go become a patron, check it out or whatever. But, let me know. I'll put it in the post anyway, but let me know if you want video podcasts, if that's a thing. But yeah, what a weird way to end it. I'd ended it and I come back to like not end it. It's so strange, man. But well, fuck it. While we're here, let's have a little bonus bit that I'll okay. Here's a little bonus bit that I'm going to cut out of the regular episode, but I'm going to keep in for patrons. So this is a little patron exclusive little tidbit. If you're not a patron, I'm sorry. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. You're amazing. You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. Mwah. You're sexy. We're all sexy people. 2020, we're going to make it sexy. Bring your sexy self back to the next episode. All right, peace.